Hi there. We're coming towards the end of Anal Pleasure Month here at As You Like It. My name is Victor Waring, and I am a somatic sexuality educator here at As You Like It. And today I'm going to be talking about prostate pleasure and prostate play. But before I jump into that, I want to name that there are often cultural and social factors that get into the way of anal play and prostate play because we've been taught that the anus is a taboo area, and in particular for people that identify as cisgendered and heterosexual men, the thought of being receptive and the thought of receiving pleasure in or near the anus, we're often taught that that's not okay. So, as much as you can today, if you're listening and you identify as that, as a cisgender heterosexual male, or actually anybody that has a prostate, I want to encourage you to just think of these body parts, the anus, the prostate, the sphincter, just as body parts that are capable of receiving pleasure. They're just part of us, and if you so choose, and if you are interested, you can explore these areas and expand your pleasure repertoire. So, with that said, the prostate. First of all, what is the prostate? Most people have heard of it. If you have one at some point, it's something that's going to be checked on by maybe a medical practitioner. But the prostate is part of the reproductive system, and it is a muscular gland. And it is a gland that produces fluid, which is part of the overall volume of ejaculate when a body ejaculates. Now, what a lot of people don't know is that it produces, in an average ejaculation, about 30% of the ejaculate volume. And then most of the other volume is actually produced by the seminal vesicles, which accounts for about 70 to 80%. And so not many people know that actually a very small percentage of the ejaculate is actually sperm, typically about 5%. But the prostate, what it provides to the ejaculation is an alkaline fluid that helps protect sperm, in particular if they happen to be going into the environment of a vagina. It counteracts the acidic environment there. So that is the gland. It's muscular, so it actually does contract at orgasm. And it's located inside the body, it's not external, just behind and below the bladder. So that's where it is. That's what it does, and it's accessible. Sometimes the prostate is called the male G spot. Some people call it that, and that's why we're talking about it, because it is capable of pleasure during erotic play, and so knowing how to get there is a learnable skill. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit. There are two main ways of accessing the prostate. The first one is going to be external. So if you can imagine, I'm going to use my hand as a pelvic floor. If you can imagine that the front of this pelvic floor is where your penis would be coming down and your scrotum would be here, and then your anus would be right back here. This area in here, the perineum, is an area where you can access the prostate indirectly and externally. So with fingers here, with pressure, or with even a toy, you could access here, and you would get, you can't see, but I'm pressing, general palpation of the prostate gland. And during arousal and excitement, this pressure can actually feel quite pleasurable. And for some people, if you press in with your fingertips enough, you can actually feel the prostate. It can be difficult to feel from this angle, but it is possible. So that's the external way. But the other way, and the way that most people are probably most familiar with, is internally. And so in the past videos, we've talked all about hygiene and ways to approach the sphincter, anal sphincters in friendly ways, so I won't go over that again. But I will say to approach the prostate internally, you're going to want to go slowly. And you are always going to want to use, if you're using fingers or a toy, something that is very well lubricated, because the anus does not produce its own lubrication. So you don't want to harm your body, your precious body. But the way to access it is to go in either with fingers or with a toy such as this. This is the aneros helix. This would be inserted. This end here would touch upon the prostate from the inside. If you're going in with a finger, you'll actually be able to feel it. It's going to be a smooth organ, about 2 inches in. This is going to vary depending on the person. And you can provide circular motion pressure. You can provide direct pressure. And you can incorporate this into your erotic play either on your own or with a partner. Again, if you're working with a partner, you're going to want to have feedback about what feels good, what doesn't, where to move, that sort of thing. And just to get to the reason why we do this in the first place, like I said, pleasure. Many people who play with the prostate report, myself included, that the orgasms that they experience from that play are very intense and very moving on a physical and sometimes on an emotional level. And that's why we go there. And there are also health benefits too. A well-touched, a well-massaged prostate often leads to longer health outcomes for people with prostates. So that is a very brief overview of prostate play. If you would like to incorporate that into your pleasure practices, I encourage it, again, with slowness and gentleness, and with the idea that, again, these are just parts of our body that are open and able to receive pleasure. Keep playing and enjoy your body.